In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 really quick and easy tricks for writing neo-soul riffs that sound really unique, a bit like this. How's it going? Dave here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time I release a new video. So as I said, in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 really awesome and really simple tricks for making really awesome and unique sounding neo-soul riffs. This is great for beginners all the way up to advanced. You don't really need to know much music theory for these tips. So let's get straight into it. So the first technique would be to use the cycle of thirds. So you may have heard of the cycle of fifths or the circle of fifths or the circle of fourths. We're going to be using thirds today. So let me show you what I mean. At the beginning of that riff you heard, I'm playing this chord here. It's a B major 7, but that's unimportant. We're playing 4, 4, 4, and 6 on the top 4 strings, okay? I'm hammering on that 6th fret just for a little bit of extra flair. And then what I do is I move up 3 frets and play the same chord shape. Okay? So there's no real music theory explanation here. I'm just going up by a third. Alright? Well, in this case, a minor third. But we could go up a major third. Okay? And when I say a minor third, I mean 3 frets. When I say a major third, I mean 4 frets. Okay? So we could go up 3 frets or 4 frets. But I decided to go 3 frets for this idea and return back to that first chord. Alright? Now that idea kind of persists throughout the whole thing until the end, where I do this little idea. So what I'm doing is I'm just descending the cycle of minor thirds in this case. So playing a chord and then playing it 3 frets lower, then another 3 frets lower, and then another 3 frets lower. So this chord is the same shape as the 4, 4, 4, 6 one, but I'm playing it at the 10th fret. So we're playing it at the 10th fret, then the 7th fret, then the 4th fret, then the 1st fret. Just going down by 3 frets at a time. We could go down by 4 frets at a time. That has a completely different sound to it, and it still sounds really cool. You can do this with any chord, so I could take a major 9 chord here and move it up a major third. Okay? It's important to use the same chord, I think, here. You can try other chords, but I think it sounds best when you use the same chord. Maybe up again a major third. Something like that. That's the first tip, the cycle of thirds. Be sure to try it out in your own playing. Just play a chord and move it up in increments of minor thirds or major thirds, and descend it in minor thirds or major thirds as well. So the second trick that I used is playing the same note at the top of each chord. What do I mean by that? So we're playing this 4, 4, 4, 6 chord here. Okay? What our ears are drawn to is the note at the top of the chord, okay? Which is this 6th fret, this B flat. So what you can do is you can take any chord that has B flat in it, and as long as you play it in such a way where the B flat is right at the top of the chord, then you can create some really cool sounds using some really unique and strange chords. So what I did is I played this chord here, this B major 7, okay? Then I played this chord here, 4, 6, 5, 6. This is an F sharp 7 chord. Okay, same note at the top. And then I played a G minor 7. As you can hear, that 6th fret of the high E string is at the top of the chord again. And then I played a G diminished 7th. Again, that note is at the top of the chord. And I literally just thought, what chords have the note B flat in them, and just experimented until I got something that sounded really cool. You could make up your own chord shapes if you don't really know a lot of music theory. So let me make up a few chord shapes here. That sounded quite cool, so. That sounded pretty nice. And now I just made that up on the spot there and just maintained having that top note as a B flat. So keep that note the same, all right? Now you could combine this technique with the cycle of thirds. So I could play this sequence of chords here, having this 6th fret be the top note of each chord. And then I could move everything up by 3 frets and have the 9th fret be the top of every single chord. So let's give it a go. That sounded pretty interesting there. So that was the second trick. Try and use that in your playing as well. Maybe start with any chord and then just kind of use the same note at the top and mess around with different chord shapes and you'll come up with some really interesting things, I'm sure of it. So the third and final trick is a very simple trick and it's chromaticism. And what do I mean by chromaticism? What we're doing is we're just moving things up by a fret at a time or down by a fret at a time. And I think in neo-soul, it sounds better descending, so going down a fret at a time rather than going up a fret at a time, although that can work as well. I'm not saying it doesn't. How did I use it in that example? So I played a G diminished 7th, and I just went, there you go, I just descended it 3 times by a semitone or by a fret each time, yeah? Very, very simple. And I think diminished 7th chords sound great to do that with. So I'm playing 5, 6, 5, 6 here on the top 4 strings. If you wanted to play with the root note on the A string, you could play 5, 6, 4, 6. And then if you wanted to play with the root note on the lower E string, you could play 5, 6, 4, 5. Okay? So that sounds quite cool. You don't just have to use diminished chords. You could use that opening chord. So that sounds really gorgeous, I think. And we're just moving down 1 fret at a time. These tricks are really, really simple, yet they sound very impressive. And then I used an ascending little lick to transition to the 2nd chord. So I went, so I just played 6, 7, 8, 9, and then played that 2nd chord there. And then when I was on the 2nd chord, that top note I just descended in semitones chromatically and then finished here on this 10th fret of the B string. So again, very, very, very simple tricks and you'll get really impressive sounding results from using them. Now, there's so much more we could do with chromaticism, but I think I'll leave it there for this video. But if you want to check out some more stuff on chromaticism, check out this recent video I just made where I talk about tritone substitutions. So if you don't know what tritone substitutions are, they're a really, really awesome trick for creating really awesome sounding chord progressions. What I did is I played the chord progression. Each chord in my progression went down by a fret at a time. And I used different chords each time rather than the same chord. So check it out. I'll see you there. Have a good day.